welcome to the next edition of Transform the Money, Transform the World. I want to dive into some big subjects, and I'm going to start out with one of the things that I talk a lot about is, and again, we can talk for hours about this, and hopefully the viewers will appreciate the education in this show. But there's what is Bitcoin, what is it doing, but what's the result when we're looking back in 10 and 20 years? How is it going to change the world? And I want to start out with I can see all societies around the world becoming math-based instead of word-based. And, I've skimmed through both of your books, and I listened to Bitcoin evangelism twice on the treadmill, and then my mind would float off and still playing, and I'm sure I missed some points, but I want to start off with how much people are misinformed about it. And I'm going to give the greatest example of word-based versus math-based, and then I want you to run with a few. But I'll have somebody come in here and talk about Web3 and how digital data storage and transfer is going to change the world, and that's really exciting. But then you get down to, I usually say, hey, you know what I've been talking about for an hour? I've been talking about that thing called Bitcoin, and so that they learn it and don't shut off by hearing the word. I think one of the dirtiest words out there is the word crypto, and I like to say layer 1 and layer 2 decentralized networks, and but math-based versus words-based. I'm not interested in Bitcoin because Warren Buffett says it's rat poison. It's not rat poison. Okay, let's break that down. Is Bitcoin rat poison? Those are words. If I left my cold storage wallet in my barn along the wall, it's not going to kill any mice or rats. Okay, so let's all agree that it's not rat poison. We can all agree that those are words. Where is the math? By the way, a pack rat will pick it up and put it in its nest, and then he'll hold the keys and the coins and the codes. But the math, to take a math argument against those words, is Bitcoin starts out at what, 0008 or wherever, and we were reading about it at 2 to 8 cents, and 70,000 as we speak today. There's the math, and so when you are driving down the road, thinking, daydreaming, what's most exciting to you about math-based versus words-based?
That's a great way, Chad, to break it down as being math-based, words-based. And I would disagree. I think that Bitcoin is rat poison. I think he actually said it's rat poison squared, but not in the sense that Warren Buffett meant. I think it's rat poison for everything that is wrong. And I know you agree with that, so we're not really in disagreement. But yeah, to your point, think about what is wrong right now with the way words based can change. We can change the definitions of things. We can change how people are defined. We can change everything about society. If you look back at the people who, I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but go read the Communist Manifesto. That book is talking about how to undermine a society by changing definitions, changing words, turning people against people, putting people in conflict unnecessarily, people who shouldn't be in conflict, being in conflict because they're arguing over the meaning of a word, right? And so government, corrupt people, corrupt businesses, they can change the definitions, or they can conflate definitions of words to incite people, to turn people, one political party against another. As you said before, it's not about the political parties, it's about the institutions like the Federal Reserve that are at the heart of these issues.
Was the black ant, red ant analogy?
It's in parallel. Yeah, but you.
Yeah, it is. I noticed that, and I've used it for years. But black ants and red ants can exist with one another. You shake the jar and they kill one another. And I feel like in this country, we're demonizing the wrong thing. We're demonizing people. We're demonizing each other, whether it's political parties or whatever it is. And should we demonize the monetary system and take that and run with it? It's not a level playing field, and it's creating. I feel like the bottom half of this country. Usually there's always poor among us, and 10% poverty levels don't sound too bad, but when you debase a currency like this, you're probably approaching 50% poverty, whether you know it or not. It's coming, and take that. It's so. I guess the original question, sticking with it, 10 years from now, looking back, how do you think it'll change society?
Yeah, that's the entire premise of the second book, Parallel, where Bitcoin Evangelism, my first book, is about understanding Bitcoin and its basic tenets, where Parallel is the what now? What does the future look like? And I think that there's a historical based argument. Obviously, we can't get into the whole thesis of the book here, but I think the future is bright. I think that it's really easy to look around and be like, oh, things are so terrible. We're all in conflict. But as innovations, as think about all the technologies that have made your life better over the last 100 years, I think the next 10, 20 years will be made better, not just because of more efficient technology that washes our clothes better or robots doing our chores for us, but I think that money at the core of our society will be better, and it will make life and living conditions for everybody better as well. And so if you're interested in that thesis, Parallel is a really interesting book for why the future is bright.